I'm really excited about augmenting our worlds around us via the smartphone. I think that to me is going to really transform the world. It's something that will emerge over the next 5 years as well, so it's right on the edge of the horizon, and it simply will mean that we'll have our devices and there'll be probably OLED screens, transparent screens, that we'll just put in front of the world around us, and it will pattern recognize what we're looking at, and in that moment, and within a few milliseconds, it will drag information from the internet, either that's been created or social media captured information. It will categorize it quickly, succinctly around what we're looking at, so we can see exactly what things are. And it will give us tremendous power. Certainly as shoppers, we're looking at products and you can instantly see products and how well they're rated by individuals and how well they're used, and divided by the cost, so you've got sort of like value scores. That level of quality of data, and it will be real time available to us in the moment, and it will change everything about how we shop and how we live our lives.
Cool. And as marketing and advertising get more into real time and become more socialized, will the old classic media planning process and principles still apply, or are they going to be, are they going to go through a sort of reinvention?
Well, what's interesting is, as an increasing amount of inventory is not just bought manually like the way media has always been bought. Instead, it's purchased as a bid in real time through real-time bidding software. Then it allows us to assess exactly which channel, which environment, which time of the day, for which audience is absolutely perfect to get the best result, and to manipulate how we spend money across many different channels in real time, and even version the creative as well. So the creative becomes a component that's optimized as well as the media. And if that happens, an algorithm will actually be able to optimize and allocate funds, as opposed to letting the manual kind of like a planner do it. So that will mean that a large part of what we do will have optimization and algorithm-based components attached to it, and it will free us up to start to invent creative solutions and be more creative and more inventive in how we solve clients' problems.
In the region, in the Middle East, actually, social media has come in a little bit more recently. It's still new.
Yeah.
So, what would your advice be to media agencies? How boldly should they pursue this marketing channel?
Yeah. Well, social media, probably the big danger is that we treat it as a separate discipline, and it's important that we do have community managers or community management as a facility that we can tap into through a third-party company. But the crucial thing about social is that it should be embedded in everything we do. It should be the core of what we do. So when we create campaigns, we should be thinking, are these campaigns socially enabled? Do they allow for assets that are used within the advertising to be pulled out easily and distributed across social networks? Are we listening and reacting in real time to what people are saying? So social should not necessarily just be a department, a separate resource. It should be embedded in everything we do. That's the crucial thing about social. Consumers have almost come to the fore over the last 5 years with the advent of co-creation. What the internet's allowed us to do is to get people to co-create together, and you can see that in how people kind of take on content and manipulate it and change it and work together. And incredible things that have been created through co-creation sites, such as like Quora, that's Q&A answering service, or Wikipedia. These amazing kind of feats have been achieved through co-creation. What will quite likely happen over the next 5 years is that we'll see more co-creation, but it might be auto co-creation. So auto co-creation would be where people themselves are producing and co-creating without necessarily being aware of it. So you could be going somewhere, and by logging in, by using your augmented reality device, you're instantly given information about how relevant this thing is that you're looking at, and that itself is data that can populate and reorganize the world around us to help us find things that are better and more like what we would genuinely be interested in. So that kind of almost instinctive auto co-creation is really kind of the next emerging sort of frontier.